This is made up of about 36 men from around the world. Lost Boy was a place where individuals could share pictures and videos depicting child pornography. Let me be clear. We are not talking about innocuous photographs or quote-unquote artistic photographs of naked children on the beach. I am referring to serious graphic images of children that are being sexually exploited. Many of these children were in the age range of 7 to 12 years old, and these pictures usually depicted children with their genitals graphically displayed or engaging in explicit sexual activity with other children or even adult men. As a parent, it is just too difficult to imagine the horrific forms of abuse that these children had to go under, and quite frankly, it's difficult to imagine how the lives of these children will ever be the same. One of certainly the most disturbing aspects of this bulletin board was a forum called the Handbook Project. Here, certain members had access to this project, if you will, and would contribute to what would be commonly known as a grooming handbook. This handbook served as a guide for adult men that were interested in identifying and grooming boys, essentially convincing or inducing them to engage in sex. The handbook went so far as to even provide instruction on how to move on to other victims when the current victim grew too old to be attractive.
The investigation into other co-conspirators, investigations going into all potential co-conspirators.
Well, we know we did arrest Jeffrey Epstein and charge him with serious felonies.
Well, Prince Andrew is not cooperating. We have not seen any additional charges against any of the enablers, despite many victims speaking out against Ghislaine Maxwell, for example. So I don't know the extent of the investigations that are continuing. I don't know what evidence is had. I don't know what indictments might be coming down very soon. I do know that in my experience for over 30 years of representing victims, law enforcement often lets victims down, and that's why they come to me, and we do civil cases.
So, to the FBI, do you believe that actually,
you know, it's time for him to stop playing games. He needs to get on a plane, come to New York, sit down with the FBI. He can bring an attorney if he likes and answer their questions, because this is not just about him. It's about the victims like Kiki, and it's about other people who are accused of being enablers to Jeffrey Epstein, who is one of the most prolific pedophiles of our time.
As to what's happened after his death, as to who's being investigated, I mean, that's all being done, and would be ready, willing, and able to speak to them. So
I think, you know, if he hasn't done anything wrong, what's the problem here? Why can't he speak to authorities? It seems he has the time now, after being removed from his royal duties, to at least make a phone call. And lastly, why does he have to wait for the authorities to contact him, regardless of what's been said in the media? Why can't he willingly speak to the U.S. authorities? That's the question I would like to ask him.
But you represent people who were not children. They were
very soon. These lawsuits have to be filed very quickly. There are different time deadlines in different jurisdictions, whether it's...
You know, well, it was shocking, but we all knew about his suicide attempt previously to that. My initial reaction is, how could this have happened? It was intense anger at the negligence of the jail where he should have been on suicide watch after his first attempt. And this feeling of, wow, I'm never going to have closure, and I feel so sorry for all his other victims, and there's so much information that we will never know now because of his death.
About the Adult Victims Act, potential legislation to allow people like Kiki